Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I'm trying to figure out how to make the AC show up less in the microphone, so hopefully it's not picking up. I add background music for the purpose of trying to block all of that out. I am here to just do another little get ready with me. I do have another video to film after this, so I'm just going to use this video as a chance to put on my makeup and then I will work on that. I did try the Ipsy BoxyCharm subscription back in June. I do need to cancel it though because honestly I don't really think it's worth it. You do get a lot of stuff, but it seems to just be a lot of like junk stuff that I just personally I've never even heard of. So yeah, but in the meantime I did get one pretty cool thing out of it. I'm gonna do a look using the Moment palette from Dominique Cosmetics. I used to follow Dominique Cosmetics a lot more, but I feel like they've since gone in a direction that I just kind of didn't have interest in, so I stopped following them after that. But this and a couple of other things definitely have caught my eye. I am still upset that they discontinued my holy grail primer of all time, but I'll do a look using this palette and just kind of see how it performs, and then that's gonna kind of just be it. I don't really have any set goal for today. I just kind of want to do something not too terribly colorful and graphic yet. I'm still easing back into my filming schedule, and for primer I'm just going to use the Dominique Cosmetics primer. I'm going to try the E.L.F. Camo Color Corrector. I have it in the shade Peach. I've used this once before, but I want to use it again today, mostly just because I just felt like using something different. The last time I used this, I feel like I remember it being a little bit dark. I really want to try the NARS one, but it's just like money. There's a lot of makeup that's come out this summer that I want to try so badly, but like really it's just budget things. What can I do? I'm putting on a little bit of lip balm just so that I have something to hydrate my lips while I do my makeup. Now I'm gonna pick out a foundation, and I really want to try using the WESTMAN Atelier highlighter on top of foundation this time, so I'm gonna try that and then I will be able to get my review up. So I'm going to mix two foundations today. I'm gonna mix the Gucci foundation. This is a discontinued one. I do really want the new one, but it is so expensive in America and it's cheaper on Selfridges, but currently on Selfridges it is out of stock. So there's a lot of foundations I want. I haven't updated my foundation collection in a really long time at this point. These two foundations actually were somebody online didn't want them anymore, so I was like, I will take them. So my personal foundation collection has not been updated in a really long time. Oh my god, I forgot how to use this product. Oh, okay, you unscrew from a different part. I was unscrewing from all the wrong parts. Okay. So I'm gonna use this just to lighten it up a little bit. This is in the shade 2G or something like that, which is too light for me, but the undertone is perfect. So currently I use it as a mixer. I have tried the foundation on its own and it was like super okay. So I ended up not liking it as much as I thought I would, but if I mix the two, then it'll look a lot better. The Gucci foundation is okay as well. I like the finish, but the coverage I found was like just meh. So I definitely see why they released a new one, which seems to have better coverage. I really want to try it, like I really want to try it, but I've considered once I can have a more stable film schedule and if I can upload consistently twice a week, I would love to consider a channel membership. I have always wanted to start a Patreon for things like my art and stuff like that. You know, I definitely think for YouTube it'll be easier for me to have a channel membership instead of a Patreon, so that people who subscribe to me don't have to make a Patreon account just to support me if they choose to. So I would probably just do a channel membership for the convenience, but I've always wanted to have something like that. Maybe someday in the future. Right now I don't think if I did it, it would be worthwhile for anybody's money because I'm already uploading only once a week as it is, which is not good enough. So if I can upload twice a week, then that shows that I have the energy and the time management and the discipline to film extra on top of that. I match my neck now, which is always a good thing. So we're gonna move on. I'm going to move on. I have adopted beauty YouTube language and I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, so next is concealer. So I'm going to use my baby Shape Tape in the shade 12N. I'm gonna use that. Not for any real reason today, I just felt like using something different. That's why I just have like the deluxe sample size, because I just don't ever see myself going through like a whole thing of it myself. And then I'm just going to use a denser brush to blend it out. But I don't want to over blend it because I'm trying to keep the coverage nice and full. So the fact that I have like that sunken in spot, like I have that kind of line here, I'm always trying to cover that. But that is part of the reason why I use so little, because otherwise I would end up looking really, really cakey and heavy. Okay, so you can see that the Shape Tape has pretty good coverage. The groove is slightly not covered, but I honestly have come to realize I have an eye booger. I kind of want to start experimenting with matte highlighters to see if I can conceal the groove with powder highlighter. So I'm gonna just call that done for the concealer. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I do really like both Shape Tapes, as long as I use like, you know, like a tiny bit. I think it looks fine. I've tried using more and then it looked terrible, but if I just use a little bit, it's fine. That's why I don't have a full-size version of them, because that would just be the biggest waste ever. I am going to now set my under eyes, and I'm going to actually use a eyeshadow for it. So I'm going to take a large, this is a rougher 16. It's a little bit too big for me to use as eyeshadow, but I'm going to actually take the shade Embrace, which is a very light bone colored shade, and I'm going to use Embrace to do the highlighting that I was talking about. That really helps, which is why I really want to experiment with it more. Not quite as dramatic as I was hoping, but it's not bad. And since my under eyes are pretty dry, it's not like I really need a heavy duty setting powder most of the time, unless it's like super hot and humid outside. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and start on the face first. I'm going to try using the WESTMAN Atelier drops on my cheeks on top of foundation. I'm a little bit nervous, of course, but we'll see. I'm gonna use a sponge. I'm just being very gentle. Okay, I don't think it took off my foundation, but that's with me being super, super gentle. If I had received the pink shade, I think it would have looked better at the end. Ultimately, I do still wish I kind of had received the pink one, but the peach one is still really pretty. But you can tell there's a little bit of a cast when I turn to see that. See this? That's cast. Okay, I don't think it took off my foundation, and now it's left me with a really slick glow. I could get behind this. Okay. I am pleasantly surprised so far, so I guess that means I can leave a good review for it online. I'm gonna just use the Too Faced pomade in a pencil. I don't actually like it that much. I'm only using it because I want to finish it. So this pomade in a pencil, it is a little easy to go overboard. It looks like Too Faced is discontinuing all their brow products though. That's a shame. And like, I do have eyebrows. It's just that because they grow in such a weird direction towards the outer corner, I have to completely pluck them off, and so then my eyebrows look really short. Okay, I think I was able to make my eyebrow not look like one's higher than the other. I think I did a better job this time than the last video. I just realized I totally forgot to do eye primer. How embarrassing. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty eye primer. What's new? I'm just gonna use a little bit. I used to think I wasn't using enough, but honestly I don't really think you need to use that much. If I put on too little, I don't actually have enough to cover the surface of my eyelid, but so since I completely forgot to do my eye primer and I like to give it a couple minutes to set down, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my contour. So since I have cream products on, I didn't really set my face. I'm gonna go in with a cream product. I haven't used this should be fine, right? I do really want the Phytosurgeons one, but so I'm going to use the NARS Laguna bronzer. The Moment palette is very slightly warm, so I don't want to put on a super cool contour, but I don't really want a super warm bronzer either. So this is pretty much middle of the road. It's perfect. And it is blending on top of the highlighter without any issues. Yeah, the highlighter still has not taken off my foundation or broken anything down, so I'm honestly really impressed. I thought it was going to take off my foundation. I really did. I definitely really want to get the Glow Lust or the Flawless filter. I think I may go ahead and get the Flawless filter at the next Rouge sale. Or, well, I mean, if I'm getting the Glow Lust, it's so redundant to get both, but part of me wants to compare. So now I'm ready for eyeshadow, so The Moment palette is from Dominique Cosmetics. I have taken off the plastic, so I'm just going to show it like this. Very excited to use this. I do want to incorporate the blue somewhere, so but I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm going to start off with this shade here. Very desaturated. My only thing is that this shade doesn't really have a darker counterpart because the warm browns aren't necessarily going to match with it, so I'd have to go into the black. The shimmer, in terms of shimmers, it has plenty of friends, but in terms of mattes, not really. I remember really liking the Latte and the Berries and Cream, but then the other palettes I tried from her brand kind of weren't as good, so I ended up parting ways with all of those. We'll see about this one. I do really want to try the new kind of corally pinky palette that she released, but it's just one of those things where it is, obviously it's incredibly redundant to my hoard, especially when there's other things I do know that I want more. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just gently laying it down in the outer part and just kind of doing a diagonal kind of shape. It's very, very common. This is what I do a lot. So now I'm going to go into the shimmers. I feel like these two shimmers right here are so similar. On the finger now they look a little bit more different. They feel a little bit hard, but now I can see the difference. So I'm going to use this shade and then I'm going to use this shade. So as you can see, it's smoother. It's not super ultra shiny. It's more of just like a smooth metallic. It actually is applying very nicely, so this one is a little bit more sparkly. Yeah, I think you can really see the difference. Gonna repeat that on the other eye. My nails are I'm still working on growing them out. Between all the luggage handling and just traveling and stuff like that, my nails pretty much all broke while I was in China, which made me really sad because I haven't had long nails in months at this point and I really miss it. And I haven't done gel nails in a while because after watching James Welch's video on gel nails talking about how it's important to buy gel nails from places that regulate them and that are reputable, and that if it's really, really cheap like Amazon or AliExpress, you can't necessarily guarantee that the formulation is safe or that what you see on the ingredients list is what is actually in the jar. After he talked about that, I was like, you know, it's not worth saving money on stuff like gel nail polishes when it could very well jeopardize your health. So I decided that I'm going to stop using all of my AliExpress nail polishes and I'm going to have to start just investing in the nicer quality gel polishes, but they are hella expensive. My sister did get me a pastel set for my birthday, so whenever that arrives I'll at least be able to do pastel sets, but in the meantime, unfortunately, that was not fun to have to accept. I told you guys that I was going to do something more colorful today and that did not happen. So I'm just going to put a pop of color on the lower lash line, the lighter blue shade in the palette. The shimmers so far have felt so just whelmed. They just don't feel nice and luxe given how expensive these palettes are. Maybe it just, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't apply well with the brush either. That's not fun, but I'm gonna go into this shade here. I'm gonna try and just use a little bit of it to blend out the blue. I don't want to use the olive shade to blend it out because it's going to turn super weird looking, but I do need to blend it out with something. The mattes so far have been fine. Like this matte brown is totally putting in the work. And then I'm going to take that olive shade and just stick it right back here. I'm gonna try not to connect it to the blue too much or else it's gonna cause a very interesting color that I don't want. I really like this olive. This is not a shade I have a lot of in my collection, so this is a very unique shade. I'm gonna try using the black up here. Oh, this one. I am kind of nervous because of all the sparkles in it, but we'll see. I'm gonna take a small brush to try, and I'm just going to dip into a little bit. I'm tapping off the excess, and I'm just going to see if I can't build up some depth out here. I mean, technically speaking, just this palette alone made it such that the monetary value of the BoxyCharm I got for this month was worth it, but still, I don't know. Half of the BoxyCharm box is stuff I've never even heard of. It literally looks like stuff I'd see at TJ Maxx. I just add so little at a time. I will say the micro sparkles in the black, they're okay. I mean, it's not, I feel like if I tap off my brush, then they would all disappear. You can see that it is sticking to my eyelid a little bit, and it actually is a really nice effect, but I do think mattes with sparkles are pretty contentious for a lot of people, so I can see some people being like, oh, I would have much rather just had a matte black. But I am literally just doing tiny baby dips, and then I'm just stippling it out carefully and slowly. Yeah, these two blues are kind of the selling point of the palette, but they are, in practice, so mediocre. The rest of this palette so far has been actually pretty awesome, but like that's kind of the whole point of this palette existing, isn't it? The look that I created is really pretty, so I'm not gonna complain. So now I'm going to take a very big fluffy brush to go into Embrace, which is that bone colored shade, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the top of the look. Just a very easy, simple blending out shade. I don't personally really care about these shades in palettes. I feel like it's a waste of a pan space, but since it's here, I'll just use it. I do need an inner corner highlight, and this palette doesn't actually have that, so that's like the only like criticism, so to speak. I'm going to do a full K-Beauty, DASIQUE, etc. video later, but just as a little sneak peek, I did participate in Amazon Prime Day, and just because DASIQUE was 40 to 60% off, which is just insane. And so one of the things I got to try was a shadow palette. So cute. This is the Almond Vanilla. This is from their ice cream collection. So I'm going to use I think I'm going to use the middle shade as my inner corner highlight. I have never tried DASIQUE before because I think I've mentioned before, I don't generally buy palettes if there's a glitter in it, even if it's just one pan that's a glitter. I try to not support those kinds of palettes, especially when they're expensive. But for 40% off, I know DASIQUE does put glitters into their palette sometimes, but because it was 40% off, I've always really wanted to try their mattes and their shimmers, so I decided to give it a try. So yeah, this is really pretty. I just feel like Korean shimmers and Chinese shimmers are just so different from most Western shimmers on the market, and even their toppery shimmers are different from Western toppers. This shade actually is a little bit pinky, so it's not quite in line with the look, but kind of top off the top of the eyeshadow. I really like having sparkles up here as well. It's barely visible, but it just helps make the transition seamless, especially when the top of my eyeshadow is metallic. Putting a sparkly topper like this on top just helps with the transition. Do you see just like the effect it gives? I'm going to just go ahead and use my CLIO Xtreme Gelpresso liner. I was going to use something else, but I just don't have the perfect shade I'm thinking of, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And I really want to enhance the wing that I laid down using that black shadow. I think it'll help with this look, because otherwise this look just still feels really plain. Yeah, I think a little bit of eyeliner does help. A little bit drawn out, but I got a little bit over enthusiastic. Okay, yeah, I think that should be okay. I think that helps, and then the lashes, of course, will be the finishing touch. And then I'm going to use my Extreme Brown liner. I think this liner is starting to die on me just a little bit, but I have had it for a while, so it makes sense. Okay, lashes are on. As you can see, even though they're long, they don't curl up as much. They kind of go straight out, so they don't end up looking too terribly long. I think they look alright, so I'm going to curl my lashes now. I really wish I had colorful liners for my waterline. I'm not sure which ones are good though. I'm going to just use a deluxe sample mascara that I have laying around from my Ulta order. I can't be the only one who thinks that deluxe samples and mini size mascaras sometimes don't have the same formula as the full size. Like, am I the only one who feels this way? This mascara is kind of questionable, I guess. That's alright, it's just a mini, so it's not really like I'm losing anything by it not being good. But as you can see with the lashes on, the eyeliner does not seem so extreme anymore, which is a good thing because I kind of got a little bit extreme there. And I was thinking, because I don't have any powder on, it would be a fun chance to use these M Cosmetics blushes. There are some shades that I still haven't gotten around to using yet. I think I may do a more personal chit chat get ready with me in the future where I talk about some of the problems I have. Not right now, I don't think, but definitely I'm considering it. I don't really like talking too much about my personal feelings and whatnot, but let me know if you'd be interested. This is the shade Venetian Rose. Like fingers and a sponge, see what happens. Oh, you know what? I did kind of sort of put powder down on the center of my face, so it's kind of interacting a little bit funny with that part. I'll just use a very light stippling brush. I have tried these in the past and I didn't like them like at all, so I sold them, but I do know that when the packaging got changed, so did the formulas, and I think they're a little bit better. They're more pigmented now. They're still very like moisturizing and serum-y, so as I've said before, I'm not a really big fan of those kinds of products, specifically because I feel like I can never stop it from taking my foundation off, but I do think that that is not just a skin issue, it's also a skill issue for me. So I've really made it a point to practice this year different ways of applying cream products. So after experimenting, I have come to find some brushes I do really like. You know, brushes that I get along with more. That is definitely on my short list of things I want to spend my money on this year. It did interact a little bit funny with the powder, but that was kind of to be expected. I like totally forgot that I powdered the center of my face, so that's on me. The combination of the WESTMAN Atelier highlighter and the M Cosmetics blush looks so nice. I definitely am feeling the glowiness, and my eyeshadow also has that sparkly topper, so that's really cool too. I currently store my serum blushes all in a row still in their box, and I wonder sometimes if taking them out would help, but the color on top of the boxes makes it so easy for me to see that I don't know if I want to do that. I actually want to try Kitten from STILA. I got this during 21 Days of Beauty and I haven't had a chance to try it yet. And because my cheeks are so tacky, it will stick. Oh, it's actually not sparkly. It's just a very nice... It's not sparkly, but as you can see on my finger, it's translucent. So not quite what I was going for. But oh my gosh, that is so pretty. It kind of is... Honestly, it's giving me Revelation vibes. The actual product in the pan is a little bit squishy, not quite putty, but it does squish if you press on it. I don't think this will work on my nose, but for some reason I thought I got the super sparkly one. I'll have to like add that to my wish list though. I'm gonna use this lightest shade up here. I'm going to use a setting powder that I know will not tamp down the glow, and that I have the Jaclyn Cosmetics Mood Light setting powder, but I'm going to instead use the Say powder. Now this powder doesn't really make my makeup last very long. Honestly, for like in terms of wear time, this powder does not really do much for that. It keeps the glow of my products pretty well, so I can set my face while still knowing that my face will still have a nice glow to it. I do think, however, that the Jaclyn powder would have been better. I just thought I would use the Say one today instead. My eyes are a little bit more simple today, so I do kind of actually like how the glow of my complexion is kind of almost the focus of today's look. Like, I know my eyes are still pretty crazy, but at the same time, my complexion is really drawing attention today. I will always love colorful makeup, but I have always wanted to try and experiment with complexion focused makeup looks and blush focused makeup looks, so that is still on the roster of things to do. I think it will improve my channel in the long run for me to actually start writing down my ideas and actually plan it ahead and forecast my uploads a little bit more. As of right now, I just do whatever I want. I don't even plan when I sit down. But I think in the future it will really help my channel grow if I actually have things planned as opposed to just doing random get ready with me's, because honestly, like, I'm not contributing anything to the YouTube space filming stuff like this. Like, everybody who watches my videos pretty much knows how to do makeup, so it's not like I'm really doing anything particular. I'm just doing random stuff, so it ends up not really, it just kind of feels like a filler video. I want to make higher quality content. But now I don't know if you guys have heard of it because I don't have TikTok, so I didn't know until I saw an Instagram reel about people talking about something called a double lip, where the edge of your lip color and the actual part where the, you know, the how your lip protrudes out, the actual part where that ends and the lip color don't end in the same place. It's apparently called a double lip, and that I totally have that, so I guess that explains a lot. But I feel like personally I've managed to work with mine for a while, and it's why overlining my lips actually is really important for me, because otherwise I look kind of like I have migrated filler even though I don't have lip filler. So overlining my lips lets me extend out my lip color to where my actual like protrudy part ends. It feels like almost like the natural color of my lips ends too soon. So it was really interesting to see there being discussions on TikTok about that now, because back when I was first starting to put on makeup, I had no idea how to work with my lip shape. I felt like no matter what I applied, my lips always looked so stupid, and it took a really long time and a lot of trial and error for me to figure out what worked for me. But now with people talking about it online now, it's so easy for people to find tutorials, and they don't have to do all the suffering I did. They can just learn quickly. I think I overlined my upper lip a little bit too much. I lost control. I used Morphe Backseat Love just because I have it. Don't really buy from Morphe or Darkland Cosmetics anymore. So I'm going to put on Ginger Flash. This is the Shu Uemura Hello Kitty lipstick. I wish I had the funds to get more shades, and the collection has gone on sale before, but I don't use lipsticks that often. I mostly do go for liquid Korean tints and stuff like that. Okay, so that's a little bit rosy. I am going to top that off with a new thing I just got, Peri Para. It's a ink lasting lip gloss, and it's in the shade 06. I'm sure it's not going to be this dark on the lips, but it seemed like such a unique shade. I really wanted to try it. Oh no, I'm just kidding. That's a little bit darker than I anticipated. So I'm going to use this as like a gradient lip. This was also on sale, so that's why I got it. And the corners of my lips are always so weird looking if I don't contour them. Like, it just, do you see how like sausagey my lips look? So I'm gonna take a darker lip liner. So that ended up being a little bit darker than I anticipated, but that is a very interesting, unique shade. I do really like it, so honestly, that's cool. I like it. I'm not gonna zoom out because I'm just wearing a t-shirt today. I need to start wearing nicer clothes more often. I feel like my hands are so tan. I'm trying to like actually start remembering to like dress nice for filming, wear a nice top and stuff like that. But it's just, it's hard. It's so much for one thing at a time. Here is going to be my finished makeup look with my flimsy, limp, non-voluminous hair. I really need to take it easy because I really want to get my hair back. I used to have so much hair and now I have hardly any hair, but I really did used to have more hair, and I'm hoping I can grow it back if I just take it easy. Maybe I'm considering like trying to find like serum or oil treatments that can make hair grow back better. It is not exactly what I expected. It's a little bit more boring than I anticipated. As you can see, my complexion is so glowy and pretty. I really, really like it. So I actually am like super surprised at how good this has been performing for me so far. So if you wanted to get it, I guess you'd like it, but it is crazy expensive. So that is gonna be completely up to you. I have another video to film after this, so I'm gonna get started on that. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna sign off. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who stops by. I do hope you will continue to watch my videos. I promise I will try and improve my channel in the second half of this year and next year. So please do stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!